Clock already.
We are live.
We're live. Hey, yeah.
No practice anymore.
Nope.
Hey, we're running.
Hello all together.
Yeah, hello. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
We're back.
It's been
Why did we hide so long?
Busy.
Busy shipping products.
yeah.
And before getting blamed that we don't work hard in shipping products, we didn't show up in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we should not let people wait and jump into it.
Yeah, Tourbillon
Let's do it.
2. The new Orange Tourbillon. Yeah.
As you can see down there, it's ticking. Moving it in here. Oh, well, now I see something.
Yeah.
The camera is having a hard time. Huh?
Showing up there in the dial. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, the Tourbillon 2 pre-order is now live. It started just a couple hours ago, and it's nice to see the orders coming in. It's been great to communicate with everybody about the actual watch itself. It's been quite some years in the making. We'll get into that in a little bit. But today we just want to go through basically the overview of the watch, the dial construction, also power reserve indicator, the functions that are built into the watch, and then let you look at some of the samples that we have here and answer any of your questions here in the live chat.
Who has it? Do you have the live chat open?
I got it right here.
Okay, good.
I got it down here.
No, that
I'm hiding it from you
Not
because
that we
otherwise you get distracted.
not that we just miss some questions and then people
Yeah.
freak out. That shouldn't be the case. I think it's a typical continuation, or what do you call that in English? Sequel.
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 Yes. A
Yes.
follow-up. A
A
sequel.
follow-up, yeah.
Chapter 2.
Lots of people have been waiting. There was a Tourbillon in between, which was called Lensman 1
And 1.1.
and 1.1. That was kind of a little bit of an exception, yeah.
Yeah.
And because we stepped into this whole photography world and camera thing, and then we made that product. But effectively, many people after the Tourbillon 1 launch asked for a Tourbillon 2. And the main topic was dials.
Yeah.
Because now everybody wants to have a skeletonized product. So we looked into the dial side of things. And this is something we are showing today. We do not have all models right now here because some of them are traveling in Asia mainly, and but we are already starting production and going into the manufacturing so that we shortcut our timing for delivery, which also has a name, by the way. Project.
Mission Independence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody's looked at our website, you'll see Mission Independence there.
Yeah.
And part of Mission Independence is announcing a number of upcoming projects. That was the E Diamond Watch, Tourbillon 2, and of course, so it's coming up is the Micro Rotor Tourbillon, the Autark Tourbillon.
So this means we actually decided to launch or to introduce all the projects which are dictating next year's work from our side.
Mm-hmm.
And because we thought that makes sense that people have an idea of what's coming, and then everybody can actually follow and doesn't need to wait all the time or get confused why we launch another project and another project.
Yeah, exactly. You can get behind the project that you resonate with most. Whether it's a traditional hand wound enamel dial watch Tourbillon, or if there's something new that you want to go along for the 1.5 year-ish type development journey. There's going to be something, I think, for most people, when it comes to tourbillons at least.
And at the end of the day, Mission Independence means independence, and this means we want to invest all the money we can actually raise by selling products into manufacturing. So we don't spend it anywhere else, or let's say most of it. We go into machinery, equipment, and make sure that we can shrink the time between launching something and between shipping to the minimum level, and therefore we need the support of the people, and one of the projects starting into this is Tourbillon 2, because the first Tourbillon took a little longer to be shipped.
Yeah.
Same like Super Seed, actually we had some
Certainly
time.
with the Super Seed
Yeah,
GT.
finally, I mean we did 400 and
Round about 400
400,
mark,
470 or something like this,
Yeah.
yeah. supersedes, and that kept us a little bit busy, and we recognized that, and thanks to everybody who was patient with us.
For sure.
They had a very good partner to write emails, and so we are trying to improve that. But a new product, a new movement is always a little bit coming with hiccups, and we had challenges in assembly because it's a new movement, and first time you need to spend a little bit extra time. So next slide here. So we actually have the basics here. Landon, do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, well, it started 3 years ago when we were coming off, when we were in the middle of Tourbillon 1. There's a lot of Tourbillon enthusiasts that said you need to come up with something that has a more traditional looking dial, and spoke to sort of the traditional outlook on what a tourbillon should be, rather than this sort of semi-skeletonized look that we have with the Tourbillon 1. But we listened and we looked for different solutions, and one of the things that we really gravitated towards was a Swiss enamel dial, and doing that directly here in Switzerland. As most of you know, the movement is almost 100% made in Switzerland. We're talking about 98.2%. I mean, there's 3 parts that come from Germany. The rest of the parts we do directly here in Biel and in the surrounding vicinity. And so finding a dial that would resonate with that, bring in a bit more of that Swissness, was the focus there. Then the other thing is looking for this blend of traditional with modern process. Tourbillon 1 was definitely a very modern looking tourbillon, and we wanted to carry that energy forward into Tourbillon 2 as well. So we looked what we could do with laser technology to create a very structured surface on the dial of the watch that would also play to the tech-minded individuals in our community. And then one of the things that we were up against with Tourbillon 1 was power reserve. We found that a lot of people were still underwinding their watches when they received the watch, even though we created a video that showed how many winds you were supposed to do when getting the power reserve up. If you look at the mainspring at 12 o'clock there on the Tourbillon 1, you can see that this one is stopped because the spring is completely expanded at the moment, but when you wind it up, it compresses the spring and it works sort of as a visual power reserve. And we found that for some they were still just winding it a few times, just getting enough power to turn the tourbillon cage, and essentially we said, okay, we're going to put a power reserve onto Tourbillon 2, and that was the goal. So those were the main focus points for Tourbillon 2, and I should also mention bringing in some more of that precious metal to complement these very, very detailed and beautiful dials.
Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good, yeah.
And for a watch that's so similar in DNA, they look so different.
I just have a little bit of shininess here. That's better now.
Yeah, and somebody who's in the comments here, what's his Ludwig? He cannot find another Swiss watch with an enamel dial that costs under 300,000 Swiss francs. I mean, when it comes to tourbillons and an enamel dial, this is an anomaly at this price level, at this value level, and not to mention it's a titanium flying tourbillon. I've been in contact with a few enthusiasts asking, how does this compare to this sort of tourbillon? You really have to really dig into the details and the components that are at play, and also the material that's being utilized, and also the way that the tourbillon is being presented. Is it with a bridge? Is it a flying tourbillon? And when you step into the space of a titanium flying tourbillon, this is a very unique caliber for a small independent like us to have developed on our own.
Absolutely, and even as is mentioned, with a grown-through enamel dial, this is exceptional at the price point. And these dials have been one of the longest lead parts of the whole project. I mean, I think it was nearly 2 years ago that we were seeing them, in production. So it's been a long time to get these dials, and it's such a low yield to get perfect dials that they have to make quite a few to get a small number that are perfect.
Let's jump to the first movie here. So many of you have already been on our YouTube page. You'll see this, but we'll just go through this first video that we have here and just sort of talk through each of
Change
the
that,
watches
yeah.
and the options that you can expect to have.
Okay, so I think I need to change something here because that doesn't play in.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Andy's
very
working
small.
we have him on the
Magic fingers.
magic
mouse.
fingers on the
Yeah,
mouse.
you know.
Yeah.
There we
just
go.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
I'm a little bit out of practice, you know.
Yeah.
I need to practice again.
Thinking of our
But
friend Arthur here, who
Yeah,
got us
yeah,
hooked
yeah.
on those guys.
He's desperately finding the keys.
Tourbillon 2 meets the future. Here we go. So I think we also have the audio. Yeah, audio is coming in. Just see. We did a lot of filming recently.
Yeah, there's
Indeed.
been a lot of video and film work happening, and yeah, it's
That can be seen on YouTube, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is the difference between CGI work and real
Yeah.
filming. So
Mhm.
there you instantly recognize, okay, that is a big difference when you really produce stuff with
Mhm.
real people. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about the two dials is we didn't want to just make a simple dial. Yeah? If we make a dial, then it should be at least technically in a degree where it really challenges us and where it really makes sense to own it because it's special. And Grand Feu for sure, and the blue one
Yeah.
is also not just a piece of cake.
No.
Because it comes with laser technology and a lot of positioning issues and yeah, that was
oh, we got autoplay. Just turn that
Yeah,
on.
the strangest thing about
yeah, that we need to get away from that guy.
Yeah,
Back on the keyboard.
Yeah,
back on
So.
the keyboard here, and
back here.
where are we at here? Back to our
Yeah,
presentation here.
back to the presentation. Here.
Yeah, so another thing with this dial is we wanted to carry forward sort of the energy of Tourbillon 1. We talked about this a little bit in the forum post. Somebody had said to me, why would you put those hour markers on there? They don't make any sense. Well, they actually do make a lot of sense. We put a lot of thought into that, into many things that we do. We look to Tourbillon 1 and its energy, bringing it forward and looking at the components that sort of made it a possibility to create that movement. So at 12, 3, and 9 o'clock, we have the escapement, and we have at 1 o'clock, would be the main barrel. 2 o'clock is the silicone hairspring. 4 o'clock is the main barrel because it was open, and then 5 o'clock we have the rainbow femtool laser Mirage logo on the small ratchet wheel. 7 o'clock is the many screws that make up the movement. 8 o'clock is the double applique that's placed on Tourbillon 1, and at 10 o'clock we have the bottom of the ratchet spring that holds it in place, and 11 is the bigger
Ratchet wheel.
ratchet wheel, found on the first Tourbillon 1 movement.
And
So
everybody should keep in mind that stuff is small.
yeah, very small, very very small.
So here everything looks so easy, it looks so big, but in reality it is small.
Very much so.
We can cross check it again.
And of course, it was super important to put BLBN on our dials again.
Yes.
So this is the town where we're located, and
Since we got away from the handmade thing.
yeah, we got away from the handmade, and we want.
Doesn't mean it's still not handmade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's enough Swiss made on the backside of the movement.
Swiss
So
made and handmade and
Yeah.
everything, but since we ran into too much discussion in the past, and I think BLBN is a good thing. It's our town, it's the capital of watchmaking, and everybody's welcome to come here. Yeah, we recently had a lot of guests from the US
Have we? Some
coming
guests
over.
collecting watches or even just coming to see around.
Yeah. Do we want to have a closer look again on that?
There we go.
Live. I just put that pen here because then
And what's really
Um,
difficult to
less
see,
less.
not so much in
reflection.
real, when you're not in real life, is the depth of the kind of colour on these
Yeah.
Grand Feu enamel dials. You can see it certainly better here than on maybe some of the renders, but there's a real depth to the colour
Yeah.
and to the kind of dial there.
and to the hand as well. Right now, it looks completely black on the
Yeah.
hands, and it
Yeah.
just has to do with the angle of light and how it moves with the light, so it
Let me
really
see
comes
if
to
I can
life
bring a little
as
bit
you're
light
wearing
here.
it on the wrist. And from a distance, especially with the, personally, I'm a yellow gold kind of guy. That yellow gold and that white dial just pop. You just instantly see it from a distance, and it's a super attractive watch. Of course, there's those that like to play things down a little bit and then prefer to go with a white gold or with the steel, and you can basically
Mix and match.
mix and match, modify to have the different dial.
Printing is
go
crazy.
with the case of each
That
choice.
stuff is burned in.
Yeah.
It's not just printed.
Yeah, well, we can show
Yeah,
the video
this
and
is-
the process of it.
Yeah, because the numeral set as well is a bespoke numeral
Yeah.
set that has been designed by ourselves,
It's
and it's not, as you say, it's not just a print; it's an actual enamel pad print, and then it's heated onto the
Yeah.
dial.
yeah. I mean, what I like about it is we had a little bit fun with it. You know, it is very traditional technique. It looks very traditional, but we got a little bit of fun in it with the markers and with the way the numbers were created. And I think it's a very, very nice product, which is worth to own, I guess.
Yeah, especially with something like Grand Fu, which with some holds this kind of reverence that it only can be very traditional. Just bringing in a few kind of fun elements to the dial
Yeah.
as well, whilst using these much more traditional
High
techniques.
resolution cameras are a nightmare.
They are.
You see everything.
You see everything.
You know, gone are the times when we could say, okay, 30 centimeters distance, 20 seconds quality control.
Not anymore.
I mean, every customer is killing us on the
8K high
slightest
resolution.
stuff.
Yeah, 100.
But we also need to have
which
fun.
means that costs money.
Yeah.
I mean, we also have to be clear that
Yeah.
we need to spend 10 times more in order to make sure that not much. I mean, you can't do things flawless. Yeah, that there's the closer you look, the more you find.
Yeah.
But we are trying hard to.
Especially with a dial as well, like the Grand
Yeah.
Fu, which is very much a handmade dial. We mentioned we've taken handmade off,
Yeah.
but this very much is an entirely hand-done process. There's really nothing automated about this process for these
Let's
dials
watch
at all.
the video.
Yeah, let's
And
watch
we
the
can
video.
maybe add some talking points that we had seen when we were there.
Screen face
that
back to
not
here.
everybody was able to see.
So where's my video?
Let's go back over to the.
Right
that
there.
is
That's the right one.
that's
Next
Grand
one.
Fu.
See there.
Yeah. Okay.
Expand that, Andy.
Yeah.
Just look at that. Look at you, technologically advanced. Yeah.
He's on it today.
You have been there. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
we were all there. Remember?
Yeah, Dave and I were there, setting the feet.
You can see here, very much a traditional process. No automation really of any sort.
Barbecuing.
Yeah.
It's literally
Quite
a
literally
barbecue.
This is the kind of initial layer of enamel powder going on, which is a vitreous enamel. And then we go onto the tray. This is the Great Fire.
Mhm. And it just happens at one time, just like that, and then it starts
Yeah.
baking.
How long does it say in there?
So the process obviously is a multi-stage process where they have to build up the layers. There's lots of layers of white going. This is them moving on to the making the enamel for the actual pad printing
Mhm.
for the numerals. So you can see some enamel powder being
Yeah.
mixed with some of the bonding agents.
And when we do this, I just did the clip very short, so we'd only show them applying the ink twice, but it's
Yeah.
applied multiple times to enable
To get this
a
depth.
level of depth into it. So you just see it just be stamped once, but it's actually stamped multiple times, and then
So the positioning is.
yeah,
Vital.
it's vital. Yeah. And then when it's ready, it's gonna get baked
Baked.
in again.
And you'll notice here as well, the dials are not at this stage perfectly flat, which is very much part of the process as they're heated so many times. And they move to the tamping process towards the end where they ensure the flatness of the dials. And this is very much a shortened process. This is
Mhm.
weeks, if not months, in the doing to do each dial, and this is then tamping them flat.
And that's just a solid piece of carbon, isn't it?
It's like a piece of carbon. That's right.
Yeah.
And why do they use carbon?
I think it's to pull the heat from the dial so
Ah.
that it sets when they're pushing down on it.
Yeah.
You do
might
that when you
just
take it
wanna
out of
turn
the
that
oven
off
before
there.
it cools
Actually, I
down.
did.
Turn that off.
Turn that off.
Yeah.
Before we start again.
Another guy here.
Another guy here. So
Get away.
yeah, so
Cool,
Dave and I were
yeah.
there to actually go and see the process and
Yeah.
set up a camera and film it, and it's amazing how many of those dials get actually
In
thrown
the
away.
bin.
Oh, yeah. when
It's amazing.
part and parcel of this whole process is the number of times it goes through the kiln and the oven. Tiniest crack, tiniest little fracture. The best way to describe it is when you had to do pottery at school, it looked perfect, you put it in the kiln, the next thing you know it was cracked. So many of these dials that start off, and there's no saving them once it's cracked. All new dials start again.
So,
with that, we'll just go to the next slide there, Andy, and essentially there's the white gold version. We don't have the white gold case with us,
Yeah.
but we do have the stainless steel, which looks quite similar. But the enamel dial can be basically customized with either white gold, yellow gold, stainless steel.
Yeah.
The white and the yellow gold come with the strap, which is the salmon skin strap, and the stainless steel is with the bracelet.
You may also see the salmon skin strap in the video here. It does look, to be fair, relatively black, but this one is an early one that
Early
is done in a
prototype.
blue, which is not quite the correct colour. It will be a darker black colour on the production straps.
everything is reflecting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting crazy.
All the
It's
lights.
okay. So let's talk about the next dial, the blue dial, Andy.
Yeah.
And talk about laser technology. You spend a lot of time over
Yeah.
at the laser locations.
Yeah, laser is thanks to Lasea and Beat from Lasea, we are actually learning something about laser structuring specifically. I'm taking that away because I think, sorry, there's a camera there, but I can't get rid of that camera. Just you see, the camera has a hard time already with that.
Mhm.
The
With
fineness of the
pattern,
detail,
yeah.
yeah.
But basically, we talk a little bit about the inspiration from that patterns. You are from Scotland.
We're
Who's your neighbour?
closely related to the Irish, yes, it has to be said. But this was taken an inspiration from the paper from an ancient
Next
manuscript,
slide, Andy.
which
Yeah.
is it's using the texture that you would find in a papyrus paper. And you can see here this kind of the Book of Doro, and you've got this papyrus paper. You can see an example on the screen now.
Mhm.
So it's taking that as an inspiration and then using the femto laser technology to have that texture kind of effectively cut or burnt into the dial blanks before they are treated with this
Mhm.
blue coloration, which I think makes for a really good looking dial, something very different from your more traditional
So the
brushed or sunburst type
what we
dials.
did actually, we cut with we get a raw plate, and then with the femtosecond laser we structure the surface and cut these lines into the laser. And the trick is, how many lines do you need? How thick does it have to be? What is the taper angle? And we are talking about nothing, you know.
Absolutely.
It's within like
Nothing.
I think some of them were within like 4 microns or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
It's-
and bearing in mind this is
insane.
a pretty big picture again, so it
Yeah.
makes it look simpler maybe than it
Yeah.
is, but obviously bear in mind you're talking here about a 39mm
And you see
dial.
the challenge of the camera already, that the camera is getting
Confused. by the-
kind of confused, tells you a lot about how sophisticated the light goes in and out of these
Yeah.
grooves. And that makes it actually so interesting.
The
Yeah.
camera is really confused because it's looking for a pattern, and
Yeah.
there is really quite a random pattern here, but you can see zoomed
And
up
there's
there
dirt.
in a detail.
It's a sample.
Yeah, these were early
So
build
you
samples
see
just
here.
for fit and finish. But you can see the kind of detail there of the laser engraving, which is super detailed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit grayish.
It has to do with the light. I
it's
mean,
pulling. The light really changes this dial. It
Yeah.
goes from actually quite light blues in the direct sunlight, mixed with these darker blues, but it really does kind of play around with the light really nicely.
Oh,
what did you do there?
I didn't
Oh, we're
want
back.
to do
Just
that.
taking photos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. Okay,
Are the lines straight or wavy?
and now I know what it
They
is.
are.
They wave
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit. I
okay.
mean, they're
Now
straight
I'm back in the.
and they
Yeah.
and they, you know, like a bit like a
Maybe if you
like a
can pull
wave.
up the picture of the papyrus again,
Yeah.
Andy. See the picture here.
right there.
Yeah, that's the one. If you see
yeah, but
here,
you need
this
to
is
wait,
the.
wait, you don't see that. Wait,
This is
screen.
the papyrus.
I can
paper
make the
sheet.
mega trick here. Yeah,
Yeah.
The mega trick.
mega tricks.
There we go. So you can see this papyrus paper where you've got these kind of random natural fibres of the material that's used to make up this paper.
That is a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. the IT guru is getting
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Okay, now we're here. Yeah, that's.
You can maybe see the kind of idea.
It's crazy how sharp. You know, when you have a regular laser, you have some kind of
Burn off.
black burn off.
Yeah.
But this is an ultra short pulse laser,
Yeah.
and it comes out clean.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So you just can continue
I mean, even
doing
looking
it.
here.
And we think that this is the future in
Yeah.
advanced style making in future that you really use.
Bearing in mind, that circle in the middle there is the mounting of the hands in the middle. If you look how
Yeah.
tightly packed those lines are
Yeah.
just round that, so it's super detailed.
And the funny thing is, when we did this, here is the biggest challenge. Because when you do laser technology or when you do laser machining, you need to really understand how the file needs to look like, and it needs to be totally different from what you do usually, because a laser doesn't have an end. It just goes
Just
down.
keeps going. Yep.
It's not, you can't touch it. There's no probing, nothing, and you always need to give the laser an edge.
Yeah.
So an open plane doesn't work.
No.
And until you understand how you actually need to get this file, and we model the file in 3D, and there are a lot of gaps, and there's even software. There's software issues that the software in this size is having rounding problems. So the rounding problems lead actually to broken surfaces. That means we actually blew up the whole thing into much bigger scale in order to be able to close these surfaces. So all that kind of stuff we found out, and we had some intensive training together with the people from Lasea, and really understand how laser has to be used. And there is no formal education. You do not get you're not a laser mechanic or something like this. It's such a still fresh field, and we are determined to get into it because you can make stuff which you usually can't do.
Yeah, a lot of it's manipulating its use to something it wasn't necessarily designed for, and even to the point where you have to make sure that you're not lasering in certain areas where you're going to print, or the print will fall into those lasered areas.
Yeah, I want to have a look by myself. And then printing on that is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not only
To get the definition.
it's not only the laser guy who is super motivated about doing that, but also the person who made the dial, Romeo, from a famous family in Biel. Nearly all of them are in the watch industry. Dial maker called Cadranor, and he was also sweating. I mean, how do you get that thing correctly positioned? Usually they control all the process in-house, but when you work together with two suppliers, so you need to have very good positioning tools in order to print exactly at the place where it should be.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot, and that's the fun of it, doing the learning here. Now we have the raw pieces here. I need to make us a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I wanted to make a better photo here. I haven't had a chance to get around to do that yet, but this is one that Sylvan had snapped for us, just with his mobile phone, just to show.
Yeah, that's how it looks raw,
Before the plating and treatment.
Yeah.
And
you can
before
see,
it's cut out.
you can see the little area there just where the power reserve indicator will go where it hasn't been engraved.
Yeah. Yeah, then it needs to be cut out afterwards, and for everything you need fixtures. Yeah. Super interesting stuff. So now next case.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So we have a variety of cases,
Yes.
materials here, but I think it's also worth saying that we have had some, iterations and upgrades since the original Tourbillon one as well. One of the big things, certainly for a lot of people, will be it has got markedly slimmer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're now 1.8 millimeters slimmer on the case, which is, I think quite a significant jump down. So it brings it on to just about 10 millimeters, pretty
Mhm.
much on the nose, thickness wise. Interestingly though, it's actually a 39 millimeter case, albeit with a 41 millimeter bezel, because you've got this slight kind of overhang, which means that it wears smaller than most folk would expect on the wrist, which makes it very wearable for, to be honest, the vast majority of wrist sizes on there as well.
And that top ring was needed also just to balance out the size of the Tourbillon as well, to give it a bit more presence
Yeah.
on the wrist.
Interestingly, for a lot of people, because the lugs obviously are part of the main case body and not the bezel, the lug-to-lug dimensions for this watch are quite tight for what would be perceived to be a 41 millimeter case. So again, that really does help with the wearability. And for the first time, it's going to be featured with the bracelet available with the watch. Bracelet obviously does fit the original Tourbillon one as well, and is available for anyone with a Tourbillon one that fancies the bracelet, but this is the first time the bracelet will be available on the watch. So the stainless steel one will be shipping, as you see here, with the bracelet.
Yeah.
Just trying.
Okay, Andy, we'll
Yeah.
move on to the next slide here. Or
Just probably
Andy's
some
playing
live
with his
candles
candles
again.
again. Yeah.
Sorry, dirty fingernails. I just saw that.
It's because you work.
We're working all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're also working on a completely new facility downstairs.
Yeah.
So, which we'll be able to show you in future times. Probably end of this year. But currently, it's painting process. Floor's been finished.
It's a building
And
site.
we'll have a very exciting space for anybody who comes and visit us in future times and wants to see these watches on their wrist for themselves. So that's maybe why Andy's fingernails are a little dirtier today than usual. And so Andy, can we just go to the next slide? We'll talk a little bit about the numerals there.
This damn light is reflecting everywhere, so
Andy likes the camera.
get it. I need a better studio. Where's my studio?
Yeah, that's
Tomorrow.
what
Okay, here we go.
Downstairs.
we're working on a better studio.
So, next slide.
Yes.
Long story.
Long story. How long did these numbers take to make? These numerals.
There's a secret chat.
Yeah.
You guys don't know.
No,
the chat.
I know of the chat.
We know
Yeah.
of the chat.
And I've seen the files that are coming out of that chat, but I'm not
Three,
allowed in the chat.
4,000 pictures. It's the chat which starts getting crazy between 7 in the evening and 1 o'clock in the morning.
Ah,
That's where mainly the girls are actually chatting on things like that.
design.
Yeah. Before anybody else, I'm somehow allowed to look into it. Why? Because
Privilege.
my wife is lying beside me in the bed, and then I actually have access to that to that chat. And there's stuff being exchanged constantly, and we decided to hand draw those numbers.
Yeah.
Numerals, you call that.
Yeah,
What's the English?
Yeah, numerals.
Correct is English. Why? Because we like it.
Yeah.
And it fitted to this a little bit of an. We are. You didn't tell me that the people don't see anything.
Right there.
Oh,
Guys, These are the numbers
you need to watch a little bit more here.
Yeah, well, Andy.
I cannot handle all this complicated computer stuff by myself, Please.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, so there are the numbers that we've been talking about.
there we go.
Yeah.
Those are all the hand-drawn numbers and not a sitting case profile. But
And after that, you need to digitize that.
Yeah, but also all the little reiterations, cutting a little bit off the bottom
Yeah.
of a number and
I
just
think it's
making
stretched
sure that it
over
balances out just
several weeks.
Yeah.
Always again a new number was coming in, saying, yeah, no, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And there is definitely a lot of work in these details, and that's something nobody can find. That's ours.
Yeah.
Good.
And then
Another
I
one?
think I had the same image here again, but the one on the right is actually the correct one.
Yeah.
But that was just getting an idea of where we place some of these markers and in these parts from Tourbillon 1. So everything is sort of laid out on paper first.
Yeah.
Most people think that everything's just
It's a Photoshop exercise.
or AI now. Just
Now
feed it into
AI,
AI
yeah.
and it spits it out and it's
Which is insane, by the way.
It is insane.
I
If
was
you know what
trying
your prompts are.
Mid-Journey.
Yeah.
Thomas Funder showed me
Yeah.
Mid-Journey, and he asked me to type some stuff. So actually, what did I create? A picture with a guy with an employee on the stairs being sad. And it worked pretty well. The guy looked damn sad, sitting in front of the stairs of his office, and said, "What? Okay, all these jobs are gone." but what can't be AI is us, life.
Yeah.
That's not so easy to AI.
yeah.
It has to exist before AI
Yeah, someone needs
understands
to
it.
tell the AI that it's real.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes so much work to put all this into these things, and when I look back the last 10 years, I mean, we are getting better at what we do.
Yeah.
And with this, that doesn't mean that things go faster. You're just getting more critical at what you do. And I think that's also the big difference between very often a startup brand who doesn't yet understand how much details in watchmaking are relevant, and a mature company or a company which has a lot of experienced people. But even for us, it took 10, 15 years to get into all these details and be critical all the time. Of course, the time comes where you have to go out. You need to draw a line at a certain point. Otherwise, you will never make it to the market, and then when you don't make it to the market, you go bankrupt. That's an easy thing. Let's look at all of them combined.
Here you can see the three different case materials. So you have the stainless steel, the white gold, and of course this light yellow gold there as well.
What is your preferred?
What is my preferred? I really like the white gold. To be honest, I think white gold has a lovely colour.
Understated.
And yeah, the thing I like about white gold is it doesn't shout it's gold.
Yeah.
But it doesn't shout. Maybe when someone picks it up, for sure, the weight gives it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do like the white gold. I still can't decide between the two dials. They're so similar but so different at the same time. I think the white is beginning to sway for me, although the blue does have an attraction as well.
I'm probably on the blue. Usually I like white watches.
Yeah.
But
The blue is the one for you.
the blue one is the one for me.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'm a tech sucker.
Yeah, the laser.
The
You like the
laser
lasers.
laser guy.
Yeah. And it's nice to say the yellow gold as well is just slightly softer than what you might expect.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of rose gold in
Yeah, a
there.
little
bit,
touch.
yeah.
It's definitely not a pink or a rose
no.
gold, but it's got a slightly
warm.
more copper,
Yeah.
warmer hue to it as well.
Shall I bring that up?
Yeah, sure.
We can do.
Have a look again.
No,
Yeah, I'll
that's
switch
wrong.
to the other camera.
Too many
There we
cameras
go.
here.
There we go.
And we'll zoom out, Andy.
Yeah.
Row one there, that's your microphone. Yeah.
I think the nice thing with the yellow gold is it's got more of a warmth to it for sure. The steel and the white gold is a slightly kind of more clinical look to it, whereas I think with this yellow gold, especially with that white Grumfu dial, it really does just warm it up a little bit.
Just play with the light here.
Yeah, it's just
That's
you
a
have to take that. That's a hard thing for that
focus
camera to focus on
problem
right
here.
there.
Yeah, doesn't like it.
No,
No.
we'll zoom out. take it out a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and we didn't even look at the
We
case
didn't
back
look
yet.
at that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Also worthy of
Gold.
note.
And this dark color,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that works.
the
Yeah,
anthracite's
it's really nice.
great.
You probably should wear the watch reversed.
Yeah, you could.
Challenge you to tell the time, to be fair, but yeah,
Yeah, and then,
looks pretty.
Yeah, and there's still this our logo there, yeah, as it used to be in Tourbillon 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The color changing, it comes out quite well
And,
here.
And
full,
we-
and full silicon now as well.
Yeah, full
Yeah,
silicone.
full silicon, finally.
And the joule count has been increased as well. It's 26 joules because we added in the power reserve indicator.
Oh, you
yeah,
see
yeah.
that the color
A
changes.
little re-engineering of the movement, so it has been completely reworked, and it's a completely different nameplate than we had from the previous Tourbillon models. But yeah, it worked out really well. Look at that. You zooming in on the dust, leaving your fingerprints in. Yeah.
Fingerprints, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy is the fingerprint master here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are prototypes, so they've traveled around already with us a lot, and when watchmakers are putting together what prototypes, they're moving quite a bit quicker than they would with other stuff.
They're certainly
Yeah.
not so concerned about the little minutiae of dust because these are very much for fit and finish and just engineering checks.
Yeah.
And they're opened and closed multiple times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Andy, can we go to that next slide there?
Yeah. I'm fascinated by myself.
Yeah, that's good.
It's also important, I think.
Yeah.
Why do we get up in the morning?
Exactly.
Switch
So,
here, screen face.
Yeah, and we'll go to slide 15 there.
Next one, side profile view.
So yeah, this is supposed to be a video that plays in here. But for
This
some-
video works.
This
This
one works.
video works, yeah.
This video works.
And this gives you an idea of the profile of the stainless
There we
steel.
go.
Yeah, so you can see the different interplay between the polished and brushed surfaces that we have.
This CGI is crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And with this
Imagine
904 steel as well, just that slightly different colour hue to the
Mhm.
steel that you might expect.
Yeah.
Silence as we watch it.
Right. I think
Yeah.
we have another slide on this, and this is showing also the detail of the bracelet. This comes with the blue dial. You can also spec it also with the enamel, but the bracelet version will only work. The bracelet will only work on the actual steel watch. It doesn't. It's not compatible with the gold version.
wouldn't also make too much sense.
Yeah.
If you do it
Yeah.
full gold, then I mean that thing would be a brick.
Oh yeah, a full
And then you
gold
would-
bracelet
You
would
would have to
certainly.
make them hollow, the links, and I've seen that how much work is that, and I'm not sure if we have enough customers who want to pay that.
It would suddenly get very expensive.
But it really works well. First link is
Good
pretty
paper.
good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the stainless steel, and then we have the. We'll
Do
go
we
to
need
the
to
next.
look at that again?
Oh,
No.
we're gonna look at it again. Okay.
Yeah, we have stuff live here. Yeah?
Zoom out.
Well, that's just here computer generated stuff.
Yeah. And this comes with a butterfly clasp.
Yeah, a little recess.
And
Oh,
so,
good.
anything to add there, David? Young David?
Young David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was young, I tell you. I don't feel young today. But there we go.
Yeah, nice.
And obviously with this one, it comes on the bracelet, but the leather straps for both the Tourbillon 1 and also the new strap with the new deploying clasp from the
Mm-hmm.
Tourbillon 2 will fit onto the stainless steel. So if you prefer it on the strap, that's perfectly doable as well.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the straps, Andy, for the
Yep,
for
next
the
one.
leather one. And
You
what
really
we're
need a
doing
better
here.
camera here. Is that also? That plays also here. There's another one.
Change
Yeah.
the screen.
Problem.
there we
Yeah.
are.
There we go.
Back.
Okay, we'll back it up there. There we
There
go.
we go. Shows a bit of detail of the bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
The really nice thing I like about this, with that slight overhang on the bezel, the bracelet tucks really nicely underneath the bezel, so you don't see any kind of
Because
join
very
line with
often
the case as well.
such a section on a lot of watches that looks bulky.
Yeah, and you also have
And
the
here
gap.
you don't feel that it's just attached on
Yeah.
the case. It's kind of hiding underneath.
Looks, as much as this is not an integrated bracelet, it gives that effect of being integrated because you can't see the
Because
edge there as well.
that was my issue with a lot of these standard
Bracelets.
type of case, is because that is from lug shape
Yeah.
is more towards the standard, and then there's a fat feeling first link, and that's what I do not like. But in this case, hiding it underneath a little bit and giving a little shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Another picture here.
This is a picture or video? I think it's a video.
That should be
It's
a
a
video
video, yeah.
also,
Yeah.
if it plays.
There we go. This is showing the yellow gold on the Grand Feu on the salmon skin strap.
The strap I have here is sample blue.
Yeah.
Correct.
There is no blue, it looks ugly in blue.
It does not look
So-
right in blue.
Nobody please
Ask for the-
Don't ask for blue, no blue.
don't ask for blue.
Blue hands,
won't.
yes, not blue strap.
Yeah.
We only got blue because that was the quickest one they had available,
Yeah.
and that's why we put it there to
Try out and
try
test it
out and see the clasp if it works.
Yeah, and the next slide I believe is the actual clasp. Actually no,
Oh, there's
It's too
another
long, it's too
nice
long just to
picture
show you
here.
the picture of the strap, and it's a really nice, this salmon skin strap gives you that kind of scaly texture but without the roughness that you sometimes find with some of the straps that, you know, give you that kind of really nice pattern, but this
Mhm.
one feels quite soft to this, you know, soft to the touch, so it's a comfortable strap to wear.
So now, honestly, is this a shot? Or
This is a photograph.
This
That's
is
a
a
photograph.
photograph.
That's a real
Photographs,
one,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was wondering how the hell did he get that pattern on the CGI stuff.
No,
No, this is a proper shot.
Those patterns are hard to do in animation.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Because having this rough texture and bending it,
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see in the next animation. It's difficult. It becomes much softer when you're working with computer animation.
okay, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so the yellow gold comes with actually a solid gold buckle clasp there. Yeah. Or sorry, buckle, carbon fiber clasp, and the white gold comes with the stainless steel.
And the beauty of this new one is it is very tight and compact and lightweight, but with micro adjustment on it. So you have the two buttons on either side which release the clasp to open, or you can push one and you get that degree of adjustability on it. So if your wrist is swollen a little bit, you can adjust it open and closed without undoing the clasp as well. So you can easily adjust it on the wrist, which is a really nice little point there.
Here. Mhm.
Yeah, these two little bits here.
Can I move that out?
Yeah, I can show. That's it.
Shall I do that?
See if we can
Yeah.
see it on the camera.
Let's see here. Andy.
Oh,
Let's go to the fingernail cam.
fingernail cams.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
let's
here.
go for it.
Sorry,
We
I'm a
need to
little
go
bit
this one.
confused here. Where's my clasp? There we go.
So you can see these two little.
So we
knobs.
look at it complete first, yeah? Sorry.
Sure, that's the way. Yep, push to click.
Oh,
Nice way around
doing
here.
it wrong here. I'm a little bit confused now. But, oh shit,
Oh,
there we go.
There we
mouse
go.
is in the way, you know.
So you can see here all the black parts on the clasp are carbon fibre. You have the gold
thing
part
would
there
go
as
through
well.
here,
so
yeah,
that goes
underneath
through.
usually.
Yep, underneath.
So,
And you push the two knobs into the holes,
yeah,
and then you can hear the clicking there. So you can adjust it smaller just by
Yeah.
pushing the clasp, or there's, I think it's the top button you would push there,
no,
and
there's a
you need to
button
be in the
underneath.
camera shot, Andy.
So, like that.
You can see the little nub now.
Yeah.
That is pushed by pushing one of the pushers, and then this section here moves back and forward. So if you push it all that way, Andy, fully there, and then let go of the button,
Okay.
locks
And you
there.
can now push it back the way and you'll hear it
Yeah.
click without pushing the button. And you've got, I think, is it 6 or 7 millimeters of adjustment on the clasp there?
7.
Yeah, 7 millimeters. And you can push the button and pull it to open it out as well
Mm-hmm.
without releasing the clasp.
That was not very.
I saw you.
Sophisticated.
So you're drawing on
You're
it, yeah.
coloring.
You're colouring in.
carbon fiber here.
Well, he's colouring carbon with
That's
carbon, so
carbon.
we're okay.
Yeah,
it's all
it's
good.
carbon,
Just
yeah.
adding more layers of carbon. It's all
No
good.
problem.
It'll increase the
Everything is okay.
All good. Perfect.
I just make it clean again, otherwise.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you give me that rubber thing?
Yep. we may have made this mistake before. A little eraser.
To any watch companies out there, word of advice: don't let Andy handle the watches.
So no,
At least he has a rubber. There we go.
I'm
Good.
equipped. Yeah.
Very good. Perfect.
Yeah,
No complaints here, please.
he's
No
not a very
complaints.
good.
Is that
Hey,
yeah, I
there it
was
goes,
just
yeah.
testing
Yeah.
the material.
Yeah.
You know.
Hardness
That's
test.
why it's R&D.
So
you
again,
know?
if you
it's
push that
R&D.
fully home,
You know, when you
let
look at
go.
when Florian is coming in and Jonas, you know, they usually throw the watches on the table.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if it still works, they say, it's okay. And
Yeah.
if it's
There's
broken,
There's a
then
lack of delicacy with some watchmakers.
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
if you should be able to slide it back without pressing the button.
Yeah.
You'll hear it click one at a time. And that's your little adjustment. And
Pretty
then
nice
obviously-
design, yeah.
Yeah, very compact and neat.
Mhm.
I have to say.
Also, the really nice thing about this clasp is because the pins go into 2 of the holes in the strap, you don't have that problem with the strap kind of
Yeah.
wandering within the clasp as well. So it holds it really nice and square so that when you fasten it, it actually stays aligned with each other, which is a nice point.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do
There
we
we go.
have here for
Next.
the next slide, there, Andy?
What's next, Andy?
Yeah, coming. Wait.
Andy's enjoying playing with the clasp.
This is in
Tell me.
Andy's land. Andy land.
Andy Land. Have you been in Barbie?
No.
We don't have gift with Barbie.
Next time.
You didn't
Next
go
time.
in the Barbie movie?
I've never been to the bar. No. I
You
think-
should.
Yeah.
Something missing in your life.
Yeah.
First
I guess so.
Oppenheimer, then Barbie.
I haven't seen either.
I mean, it's an interesting
You know,
evening.
there was some.
Death and destruction followed by pink.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a discussion about
I
these two movies.
was building press releases and
Yeah.
and websites.
So this brings us on to the different options. So here you have the 2 steel cases, either in the blue dial or in the Grand Fou white dial there. So we've got the window open as of today for
Mhm.
7 days. The kind of entry point into Tourbillon 2 is the stainless steel case on the bracelet with the blue dial at 8,990 Swiss. It's worth pointing out that for the majority of countries in the world, that includes all
Mhm.
taxes and duties, so and shipping for that matter. So the price paid is the price that you pay at the door. No one-
Except when there's luxury dumping.
except if there's the odd country, unfortunately, that has a punitive luxury charges. But for most of you, when you order this,
That's
you don't
what
get that horrible letter through the post saying you owe the government another
Yeah.
20%.
you get. How do you say? You get what you pay.
You get, yeah.
Yeah.
What you pay is what you get.
What you pay is what you get. Yeah.
And you have that little additional there.
I
with the
always
Grand Fou,
hated that. You know, you buy something somewhere and then
the surprise letter.
not even the letter. The guy stands in front of your door
And you have
and
to
you
give
need
the money
to
for
shell
it.
out
Yeah.
some money. And I mean, come on, give me a break. Huh? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
We are living in global e-commerce world or something.
Apparently.
like this.
Yes, apparently we
The
are.
biggest problem is tax return and these kind of issues, and I hope the next couple of years this will be solved because
Yeah.
there is no.
No easy way to
That's
do it.
why we also have to be a little bit careful with people who are not sure if they really want it and if they think we can easily return money. We have to be careful with that. Yeah,
Yeah, this is the one challenge, unfortunately.
we're not talking about a low-cost product where you probably
No.
spend some Swiss
It's
francs.
a jump from a T-shirt to a Tourbillon.
Yeah.
That way when it comes
This is-
to
this is-
an e-commerce
Yeah,
purchase.
this is a classic problem with global
Yeah.
commerce these
Yeah.
days. Is you once you've paid your tax,
Yeah.
if you return it, your tax is gone because the government
Mhm.
will never give you your money
No.
back.
No.
Then we move on to the blue dials with the 2 options in the gold case. We have the 3N light yellow gold or the white gold here. You have a slight variation with the, many people would obviously expect the white gold maybe to be a little more than the yellow. The price of the yellow gold being higher than the white here is because you have the yellow gold clasp on the yellow gold watch as opposed to a stainless steel one on the white gold. So yes, the white gold case, I guess technically is fractionally more expensive than the yellow one, but you get the yellow gold clasp and the yellow here. And then on to the next slide, again showing the two gold cases here with the Grand Fou enamel dial. Again, the price difference is accounted for by the clasp on there as well. The clasps and the straps themselves are also available separately.
Yes.
So anyone who has a Tourbillon 1 and fancies the new stainless steel deployment clasp or deployment clasp, getting it right, with this new strap, you can also purchase those separately if you wish, or if you want a spare strap.
How dare you say deployment?
Merde.
A lot of people don't understand, like
the French will be chasing me.
When you do spell check, it automatically goes to deployment.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, there you go, it's done. And it's like, you're a watch brand, you're not allowed to call it that. It's like, that's spell check.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here again, as we say, we have other key differences are obviously the hands. You have the blued hands with the Grand Fou, and you have the silver hands with the blue dial. Any other differences you can think of?
No, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the final piece is the pre-order timeline. So as Dave mentioned, it started today at 2 o'clock Swiss time. It'll end in a week, so next Tuesday at the same time.
Room here.
And during that, you get the best value price. So pricing starts at 89.90 Swiss francs. Yeah, in the next pre-order round, we have not secured a date yet for when we will open that up. But that one will ship in Q4 of 2024. That's the estimated timeline now. And the price will go up another 2,000 francs on each of the models. Yeah, and then the final is if and when it comes onto stock, we're looking at around Q2, Q3. If any of you remember, as soon as we had Super C GMT on stock, it was already out. So we could run into the same situation with Tourbillon 2. And if it is on stock, it'll ship out immediately, and the price will be 3,000 Swiss francs more than from today's pre-order price of 89.90.
And I think it's fair to say,
so we're offering pretty good interest rates.
Yeah, the pre-order price,
the banks.
very much. The pre-order price is an outstanding value for money proposition. It's not, the true price of this watch genuinely is the on-stock price point. And we're offering a very strong price point on the basis that yes, there is a good few months wait until you take delivery of it. Realistically, probably something 4 to 5 months, but I think it's fair to say that the price saving that you get for that is quite considerable.
20%.
Indeed.
And then when you compare to something of that caliber in the industry from another watch maker, there's nothing in that category at all.
Absolutely. And again, a lot of people made comment that the original price on the Tourbillon 1 seemed lower, but we must bear in mind that didn't include taxes.
Exactly.
By the time you add the taxes onto the original Tourbillon 1 price, it was pretty much in the 8,000 franc area. We've now got an improved case, thinner, full silicon on the movement, improvements that have iteratively been added to that
Power reserve indicator.
Power reserve.
The
bracelets.
Rework of the movement.
Huge, kind of uplifts from where we were, and bearing in mind,
we have this constant discussion of pricing, but at the end of the day, I think we are not cheap, we are not super expensive.
For value.
I think good value for what you get. Yeah. And as long as we stay in this category, I do not worry too much. If we get greedy, not good.
No. And even I think it's fair to point out the gold pricing. I think most people would expect 3 times, if not 4 times, the price of stainless steel the minute you go to gold. And yes, unfortunately, gold is not cheap. We have to pay market rates.
Just do the numbers, and you can make up your own mind what we actually what our margin is. Take 50 grams gold.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Stick it up in Google and work out how much it costs you.
And
that's before you make a case.
Yeah,
that's just for a lump of gold.
It's just a piece of gold, and there's no alloying, nothing. 56 grams,
56
and
grams.
then everybody will quickly
price.
find out that this is just to cover the
Yeah,
cost
and
of
then-
getting
and
that
then-
case and making everything
Yeah.
and recycling.
It's
and-
crazy.
Because people also don't know, you do not just buy a piece of gold case.
No.
You need to take care of recycling, the waste material.
Alloying
They're
it.
charging for that. They are charging actually loss. Each gold production run is coming with a predetermined loss rate. So
Yeah.
just think about the gold guys. When they do that for 100 years and they get X
Yeah.
percent
Lost.
is
Gold.
deducted
Yeah.
over so many years and so many hundreds of tons of gold. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gone. The gold,
And
it's somewhere.
Even hallmarking, all of these things
Yeah.
all cost money as well, and
Mhm.
somebody somewhere wants their.
I think
cut out by-
it's the bottom line we have here now.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line. But it's also fair because gold is a commodity, and at the end of the day, there's nobody can really explain why it should the regular multiple should be applied
To gold.
to gold, because we do not add value to gold.
No,
At
the,
the end of the day,
the only
it's not-
value we add, I guess, is the
To the
the
product.
manufacture
Yeah.
of the case
Yeah.
and the engineering to come
Yeah.
up with the case. But I think that's a
Yeah.
fair cost.
Yeah.
Anyone would agree to that. But the gold itself is gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Good.
that's pretty much it for the show.
I think that covers it, doesn't
I
it?
think we covered everything. I don't
We
know.
A
covered
nice little
everything.
picture to go
Andy's
out
got
on.
some
Oh.
some Muppets here. Yeah,
Spending money.
yeah. There we are.
And by the way, that's
Yeah.
not us handing the money out.
This is Andy doing the gold case price
One for you,
calculation.
one for you.
Yeah, there's not.
That's the gold guys going past. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do a final big face thing here. Face. Yeah, there we
Go
are.
back.
With a little bit of a tourbillon in the bottom here.
Yes,
And I think that's the end.
that's the end. So
There's no movie coming at the end here, no?
Don't think so.
we have probably you want to check the forum this week. We're gonna have likely the first episode of Chasing Microns.
Yes.
Yeah, Chasing Microns is a documentary we've been working on behind the scenes.
And it's
Yeah,
I
which is
love it.
Yeah,
spectacular.
I really have to cry when I see it.
yeah. No, it's a different caliber.
Yeah.
A friend of mine in Austria, we ended up working together many years ago. He actually went on to win an Oscar this last year, and last year we started talking about making something around watchmaking,
Yeah.
documentary type thing, and so we've been working very, very quietly behind the scenes on this, and we have a 5-series
Preview trailer.
mini series of 5 episodes, coming out, and which will lead up to a full length documentary, which you can all sort of be a part of in November. We'll be doing different select showings, and so keep an eye out for their newsletters to
Yeah.
watch that this week, and we'll be rolling out those in the coming weeks to come, the remainder of the episodes.
Good. Any questions there?
There's no questions. Looks amazing, guys. Thanks. Next up, double Giro Tourbillons. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah,
Hang on, the engineers have all just
Yeah.
run out of the office.
No. No, we're gonna stay away from those at this moment.
How do
Do you have the white gold compared to yellow gold? No, as mentioned before, we don't have that one. And what other one? I bet the paper dial would have looked cool in creamy white color, and also
Yeah.
one on salmon. I mean,
there's so many colours that really could have worked with this, but I guess you have to make a choice somewhere. But that's not to say never say never.
yeah.
The first thing was to figure out how to deal with that laser.
Yeah.
Now we know how to
Without-
deal with the laser, and now we can, in the future, can do
Start
But don't tell anybody
New
it's
things.
actually sharks with laser beams on their heads. This is the secret of the Swiss watch industry. Sharks with laser
Freaking
beams
lasers.
on there. That's the key to getting these dials
Yeah.
made.
And we get the engineer and they're strapped to a table, James Bond style, just
Yeah.
with a laser coming
Yeah.
up.
Was Arthur also around?
Arthur wasn't around today.
Tja.
Arthur was, he left us high and
Arthur.
dry here.
Hi, Andrew.
In den Stich gelassen. Okay,
Yeah.
so then I press the button and say goodbye.
Over and out from
And
Aurora Studios.
broadcast.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next